Okay, what is up, Gulia Yoon again? Have you changed your Japanese subtitles to Korean or something? Because it looks Korean now. But yeah, I am live again. This time with the face camera, so I thought I'd do a live stream now. This is basically part 2 of the thoughts on 2024. Obviously, the way I'm going to do this is obviously we'll go through the 2 more movies I've seen before New Year, and then we're going to hopefully after that we could talk about other thoughts and all that as well. So yeah, obviously we'll look at the BBFC site once again as well. Change the format slightly as well, if so it's like all windowed now, so instead of like the full desktop recording thing. Yeah, I always think of change my username a lot. Oh right, thought so. Because I know you had Japanese before, but now it's Korean. I assume it'll change again later, I assume, but we'll wait for a couple more to join. It says free watching. I assume that's you, and then I think I count as the viewer as well, even though I'm streaming, but I don't know who the other person is. But how is the stream's current bitrate? How is that a warning? I don't get it. So yeah, I'm reading the chat on my phone, so because it's so difficult for me to read from the PC angle, but that's how it is. Still says free people. In fact, I don't know if I can change it on my phone to live messages, because I know on PC you can change from in fact, I'll bring that up. You're an hour ahead of me. As in, like, the time or something? Okay, but yeah, I noticed on the, there's like an option called live chat, and then there's also, top messages, and then, and I think there's like an additional one for super chats, which obviously won't work for me, but, and I think with, top messages, I think it prevents, like, spam, but it doesn't really do that, to be honest. Because sometimes spam messages can still go through, but... Oh yeah, so you are an hour ahead of me. That's interesting. I'm trying to think what else to say, but... Now it says 2 people are watching. I don't know if that other person left, or... I don't know, but... It is interesting. I'll still keep it for a bit longer, and then... The way I'll set up my breaks as well is if I take a break, I don't know if I'll be streaming for too long. It might be shorter than the previous one, but I'll have to see about that. But if I do get breaks, not only I'll turn the mic off and everything, but I'll also hide the camera as well. So then, and then turn it back on once I'm back. So. That's one way to get a break. But yeah, future streams will be like this with the camera. Hopefully I'll do some... Let's Plays involving the camera, but... because then that'll make it so that when I do future games, if I've not done them before, then I can get help from the chat if they've played it before. So mainly RPGs like Pokemon and Final Fantasy and all that. Though when I do live streaming games first time, it'll probably be stuff I've played already. Like, I'm thinking of doing like the Mega Man games again, but through different versions. So the PS1 versions of the first 6 Mega Man games, and then the DOS version of Mega Man X1, and then the 32-bit version of X3, which is on PS1, Saturn, and PC. And then what else? Thinking of the Sega Saturn version of Mega Man 8 as well, because that has additional content that's not in the original PS1 version, or any of the other re-releases, even on Legacy Collection. Possibly the Saturn version of X4 as well, because that one's also slightly different, but... then obviously for the Mega Man Zero games, absolutely going through the whole collection, the DS collection, the easy scenario, in all in one stream, so all 4 games in one stream. that'll be a wild one. But there's still only 2 people. I assume that's you, and then I'm the other one as well. We'll give it like a couple more minutes, and then if no one else joins, I'm gonna have to go through the stream anyway, because but we'll still wait on. Yeah, I did schedule it for 7 PM, but even though I was intending to stream straight away, I just did that because well, I did that because I don't know how much time I would be able to set up this stream. So this is like a really basic setup, but... And now it says 1 person's watching. Oh, God. I have to make it less boring. Look at the BBFC site. Let's see this grinning Hugh Grant image there. That's for 4 Weddings and a Funeral, I think. It's like a new podcast episode. I've not even heard any of their podcasts. I think I've only heard bits of the BBFC's podcasts, but I've not even, like, went through all of them or whatever, but that is interesting, how they do these podcasts. I might go through them one day. They're just audio, though, so might be worth me, like, walking from college to home or vice versa, and then just having my phone and earpods or something plugged in, and then just hearing them that way while I walk, or something. Something like that. Then again, I'll have to download them all, if I don't want to use any data up, by just going on their website. I think you can only view them on their website. I don't think you can view them on the app, strangely enough. Yeah, I've still not watched Squid Game. A friend keeps requesting me to watch Squid Game, especially the first season. The second season, I think, only just came out. That says making season 2. I assume that's got to be a film, though. Yeah, it is, because it's classed as a film. KO. I assume that means Korean, except they don't put Korean. They just put KO in lowercase letters. Another thing I noticed as well, because sometimes the BBFC, on the uses, they sometimes say Netflix only if they're a Netflix exclusive show. Like, Squid Game is one of them. That's a Netflix only series. But now they just use the VOD/streaming use. They don't really use Netflix only anymore. For some reason. I think it I don't know if they've changed that again, or if it's now they've changed it, it's random every time, but or if they've or if certain shows also get secretly a different streaming release as well, like on Amazon or something, but okay. One re-rating weird that is NOA was 15 in 2012 and was rated to 12 in 2013. What's NOA? Let me... do I have to spell it like that? It's not coming up. Unless it only comes up if I don't have the dashes. No. For reasons both day strong sporting violence. Well, do I have to spell it like this? I don't think it came up. Is there a way you found? Is there a way you typed that games that no one talks about, man? Because I can't even find it on the website just by searching it like that. Because it's weird sometimes. Sometimes the BBFC's website, you have to search things a certain way as well. Like if a film title has like a number in the title itself, so say like The Expendables 4, it's Expend 4 balls. You have to spell it like that. Oh, NWO. Oh. Oh, NWO, The Revolution. Oh, right. Oh, yeah, strong sporting violence. That's, oh, it was 15. How have they reclassified it that quick? Normally it takes, like, years to reclassify something. Oh, my God, how many minutes? 410... That's not even... That's not even 6 hours. Is that 7 hours? That's got to be, like, 6 or 7 hours. That... Or it's got to be more than that. I don't really understand minutes for the most part, but that is very long. God, both versions. That one seems to be longer though, unless that's the proper runtime, and then that's like a runtime for like DVD releases. Because I know DVDs can sometimes have different speeds, especially UK ones. Well, now it says 5 people are watching. I assume that's games that no one talks about, man. Yoon. I'll just say Yoon because I don't know if I'm pronouncing the Yulia part right, but the Korean one in the chat. I think I'm the other one because I'm classed as a viewer for some reason, but I don't know who the other 2 are. Yeah, that's interesting. But as I was saying, like how you search things on the BBFC's website, if I type The Expendables, for example, I know it says only 2 people watching. It comes up with the first one. This film that's not related. That's like a completely different film entirely. Different versions of the first and third films, and then The Expendables 2 and all that. But no Expendables 4, when in fact they did rate it. Obviously, some of you might know this from the past. You have to spell it like this. Expend 4 balls. There you go. That's when you can find it. Another example is Scream with Scream 4. You have to type Screp 4M. That's how you find Scream 4 on this. Meanwhile, for the other Screams, you just type Scream and then they'll come up. So yeah, it's very bizarre. You expect the search system to work like Google, because most people type Scream 4 as like 2 things, but that's interesting. Okay. I also found out that Hotline Miami may have re-rated to an 18 by Peggy because they mention it has violence against the defenseless characters, and the first game had it. But that's weird because the first game was 16 and then the second one was 18, wasn't it? Did they reclassify that recently? Because for the Hotline Miami collection, yeah, I always thought the collection was 18 overall anyway because of the second game, but yeah, that's interesting. In fact, I don't really want to waste my time here, so I'll just quickly go through the 2 movies I've seen, and just a quick thoughts on it. I've got them on like my Chrome tab anyway, so they'll be not too long because I just want to get them out of the way. So first off, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Obviously, I mentioned this in my previous stream. I went to see this with both Guess Who's Back and AGK89. That's actually the first time they've really met as well. It's a way to get them talking, but also because both of them wanted to see this, and obviously if they had to go separate days, I would rather not see this twice. Well, not because I hate it. I don't hate it. It's a really brilliant movie, this, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. It's better than Sonic 1 and Sonic 2, and it's also better than the Knuckles TV show. That's on Paramount+. Well, you can get it on physical media as well, but it's primarily on Paramount+. But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is the best one in this series. They had a great... Keanu Reeves' voice as Shadow is astonishing. He was the best choice, to be fair. Keanu Reeves with Shadow the Hedgehog. Also, Jim Carrey's performance is absolutely hilarious, because he's the 2 Robotniks. He's the main one here, and then Gerald Robotnik, who I first thought was never in any of the games, but apparently he's in Sonic Adventure 2, because I've never even played those Sonic Adventure games too much, so I don't really know much, but yeah, it has both of them, and I'll read the chat after the other films, but yeah, nothing else to say, but Sonic 3 is just great. And then the next film, Kraven the Hunter. This is the very last film I've seen last year in 2024. On the 30th, so that's 2 days before 2025. So this is obviously set in the not Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Sony Spider-Man universe, or the SSU. And this is the first R-rated SSU, so... because it is very gory in that, in places. Now... I know this film is not really good, to be fair. Negative reviews by critics and everything, but I think the violence part is what makes it better, especially as a kind of like a Spider-Man film, but this is well, no, not the first Spider-Man film to technically get a 15, but the first Spider-Man film to get an R rating, technically. Well, obviously Spider-Man's not in the film itself, but it is set in the Sony's Spider-Man universe, which is the same universe that Venom is in, Morbius and Madam Web, which are basically like villains of the Spider-Man series, I guess, in the comics. Obviously, everyone knows Venom and all that. So technically, make him what the villains if they were good guys. Technically, so Kraven the Hunter is another one of them. But yeah. I kind of like this. I wouldn't say it's not as good as like the Venom films. Obviously, the Venom films are better, but this is way better than Morbius. And I've never seen Madam Web, but I've heard that this is also better than Madam Web, especially if it be an R-rated. So anything that's R-rated, it's just brilliant. So especially if it's Marvel. But yeah, that is every film I've seen. So. We've gone through every movie now of 2024. If you want to look at the other ones, just watch part 1 of the live stream. If you want to see them again, but that's when I go through 86 of the set and then the 2 here. So now it says 2 people are watching. I guess some people left after that. Right. One re-rating I found interesting is Dark Souls 2 was M in both Australia and New Zealand, but when resubmitted in 2018, the Dark Souls trilogy, it was re-rated to R13. Is that by OFLC to be... Because I know OFLC has an R13 rated, but the ACB doesn't. They only have G, PG, M, MA15, R18 and X18. And refuse classification if you even class that as a rating, but when it technically isn't. But Kraven was in Spider-Man 2 2023, and he got the most gruesome death in the Spider-Man games. It was also the reason why it was a 16 in Germany. I actually never knew Kraven was in the 2023 Spider-Man 2 game. I've only heard good reviews about the Spider-Man games. Specifically, the 2018 original Miles Morales and the 2023 Spider-Man 2. I think I've heard that Kraven the Hunter is in the very first not the PS4 one, the one based on the 2002 movie of the same name, Spider-Man, which is just called Spider-Man. I think he's in the Xbox version of that one as a bonus. I think Kraven the Hunter's in the Xbox version of the 2002 Spider-Man video game adaptation, but he's not in the PS2 or GameCube version, which is strange. That's from what I've heard anyway. But obviously he's not in the film itself, the 2002 Spider-Man film, obviously, but apparently he's in the Xbox version of the game adaptation. To be fair, I don't know if both Morbius or Madam Web had their own like appearances in other Spider-Man media or even the games, because I don't think they did. I think that for movies, obviously the SSU was I think the first time they've ever got a movie of themselves, but that's interesting. Obviously, Venom had a couple of games rivaling Spider-Man, and also and obviously Venom was in Spider-Man 3 as well, the film Spider-Man 3. Now it says 3 people are watching. I guess, do people keep leaving the stream and then coming back? That's really bizarre. Let's go through the BBFC site a bit. What is that? What is Rocco AI Suo Fratelli? And Rocco and his brothers. I guess that's a translation. Well, yeah, they've re-rated Before Sunshine. I actually never heard of this film before until I saw this this being re-rated. I think it's still 15 though, I believe. Yeah, it's still 15. It's getting a January release. If this comes out in Cineworld, I definitely wish to see this because I've never even heard of this before. It stars Ethan Hawke. It was 1995 this came out. I get why this would get re-released. Why was it re-rated in 2004? Oh, you would expect 2005, but no, 2004 apparently. Along with their home entertainment re-release. Well, it's one of their rare instances where they don't use the word contains in a 2000s entry. They don't have anything there. Oh, but they use contains there. That's bizarre. Obviously, they don't use contains anymore, but... Okay. I'm also surprised that MGS Ground Zero got an MA15 despite there being a audio tape of someone getting R-worded. I actually never knew that. I knew about the rating, but I never knew about that part of the game. Punch and Judy Man was cut at U to an uncut U to a cut 12 because of the older... Yeah, I did see that as well. The Punch and Judy Man. Why is it called the Punch and Judy Man? Is it a man that made Punch and Judy or something? I don't know. I don't know why the U version was cut, unless that was back when the guidelines were different, and then they had something that wanted to get a U rating, and then... But yeah, it's just to... Why remove an old historical BBFC... Is that referring to, like, the... Well, this was in 1962, so is that referring to, like, the A rating, the X rating, and all that? It's not really necessary to remove them, it's just for nostalgia. Because it shows... It then shows that they're old. That's weird, because other because I've also seen The Holdovers last year, and in cinemas, at least, it showed a... BBFC, an old BBFC rating. Obviously, the new one before the actual film started, it was 15, and then, but then after the Universal logo, which showed the old one, it showed the AA rating or the AA rating, and I saw that in cinemas. Even though that said that film had cuts as well, to remove. Why am I spelling things wrong? The holdover. I keep spelling things wrong. But yeah, this one. It's got cuts information for both cinema and home entertainment. But this one it says to remove a misleading category symbol. I don't know. That can't be referring to the BBFC symbol. That's unless that's the because I think American versions have the old R rating listed. I think, but then UK versions just have the BBFC one. Maybe that's what the cut is. But what's in this one? Non-BBFC rating card. I think that's got to be referring to the MPA MPAA thingy, and that's for physical media. It's the same thing. It's just that one's for physical media and that one's for just streaming. They could have just rated it once for both, because physical media plus streaming means both formats. Meanwhile, just VOD streaming is just streaming. They could have just done it like that, which is bizarre. Is any of these things cut? No, nothing else has been cut. Okay. I had a Blu-ray of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and it somehow kept the MPAA rating. Yeah, because I have heard that some physical media in America will still have the MPA ratings. Oh, do you mean like in the film itself and not on the box? Because I know on the box they'll sometimes still have it. But if it's like an unrated copy, then they'll have no rating on it at all. Or sometimes they will have a rating on it, even though it is the unrated version. But that really depends on the film, though. Don't you hate it when you have to search something in order for things to pop up? You can't even get like everything they've rated. That way I could find like some R18 stuff easily, or even banned stuff easily. Because Because one way I would do it is I just type, like, number 1, for example. Takes a while to load, and then, there you go, you find lots of entries right here. We've got 5 that are banned, but let's click the adult content. It might increase. It'll definitely increase some 18s. Yeah, there you go. We've got some R18s. Did it increase any 15s? 218, that's when you press the filter. It did increase a 15 slot. There is something 15 rated that's got adult in the genre. That's very bizarre. Nothing extra for the NA. What's in the NA for 1, though? Obviously, I know about button fights. Capturing wild animals in the Rockies. And they've rejected it twice, unless that's like a duplicated page or something. In 1920, that's really Mondo Cane. I don't know what that is. Lessons at Saint Winifred's Sixth Form. The Head Girl. In 1981. Is that like 3 films in 1 submission? That's got to be like 1 film in 1. If it is, then that's got to be like an anthology film or something. I don't know. Apparently, the BBFC have never rated a R18 game since 2007. Did they not? Because they did say they would only rate games with that rating if it's pornographic, but have they seriously not rated? Have they rated games before that? I don't know. You have a UK copy, of Sonic 2, and it still has the... That's weird, because Sonic 2... I'll just type Sonic, it's just easier. For some reason, it's classed as a 2021 film, even though it's actually a 2022 film, but... It's got cunts information, but not for the film itself, even though you expect that part to be cut, because that's... MPA ratings are something that is always required to be cut. It's the same thing with trailers as well. They often get it. Nothing for the trailer was cut. Oh, 2 bonus materials. I thought it was just 1. It was just to remove an F-bomb, or an implied F-bomb, but an uncut 12 was available. It's the same here. I thought it was just 1 media, but apparently no. That's the only cuts information they've got for this. I'm surprised they didn't cut that part out. Was on their annual report. The annual report. No, that's about the credit card. Oh, is it like the annual report of 2022? I assume it must be there then. It's funny how they rated Sonic Mega Collection Plus, but there's not even a single copy out there I can think of that has that rating. All European copies I've found have Peggy 12 on it. I've never found a BBFC rated copy of Mega Collection Plus. I have a copy of Classic Collection with a U rating. I wish to replace it with the Peggy 3 one though, because honestly, people will get confused about BBFC rating games because a lot of them always think for films, which is technically true. But back then they were games as well. But the 1995, is that the Sat AM cartoon? I assume, because it says 1995. Even though I'm pretty sure the Sat AM cartoon was years before. Maybe it was just first rated in. Yeah, it says Sonic and Sally. Yeah, that is the Sat AM cartoon. It's weird because it was years before, not just 1995. Unless that's just like the year they've rated it. That's Sonic OVA. That it's not a TV show, and it's not a 1999 film. It's a 1996 film. But they class it as a series. Why? They seriously need to fix things. At least they've got these films right, obviously. Apart from the 2021, it's a 2022 film, not 2021. Christmas Blast. I assume that's an episode special of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I've never seen Sonic Prime or Sonic Boom. I think I've seen all episodes of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I've not seen any episodes of the Sat AM cartoon, or the Underground, or Sonic X, or any of the other Sonics. I've seen the Knuckles TV show, which you have to spell Knuckles, and I was surprised that the show as a whole got a 12 rating, all because of the 3rd episode, the Shabbat dinner. for moderate violence, and then the others for mild violence and threat, language, dangerous behaviour, threat, implied bad language, rude humour and injury detail, and then injury detail and language. Okay. And then the bonus material. I'm surprised that this episode got a 12. It didn't really seem 12-worthy to me when I watched the series. I would expect it to get PG most of the day because the Sonic films are PG, but... Okay. Stubbs the Zombie was re-released. It was originally MA, but now it's R. In Australia, I assume? Also, the BBFC surprisingly rated non-linear game content. They've rated The Last of Us Part 1 documentary at 15, and rated MGS Master Collection documentary at 15, and all the fake TV shows of GTA 5 at 15. Even though BBFC is not on the boxes for anything. They can't be in the games, though, can they? Are they in the games themselves, or are they just like something you have to watch online? Because if it's on like a streaming service, I kind of get that, but... And I think they did say they'll still rate video content for games. It's surprising, because Rare Replay has like a couple of video content, like interviews with people from Rare and all that, but that's not even got a BBFC rating on the box, it's just got a PEGI 16 on it. So we don't know if those interviews were rated by BBFC, or if they were like an exception or something, despite the fact that they had like some material that the BBFC would not consider exempt or anything. When the fourth Sonic movie gets released, what rating would receive? Possibly PG again, or maybe 12A. You don't know. We don't know, but it's got to be one of them, especially with the one of the Knuckles episodes getting a 12. But it could be one of them. Bare Knuckles, not to be confused with the Japanese title for Streets of Rage, which is Bare Knuckle. They seriously not re-released that, unless it has, but it's in a different title. But 1964. What? That's like a weird stock image. It's only 7 minutes. That's... Nothing comes up in the filter option. I think they just advise Peggy about the rating. Alright. Fun fact, Sonic OVA, the original Japanese version, was originally a 2-parted episode, but when it was dubbed in English, it got combined into a movie. I think I have heard of that. Because, I always thought that it was, like, 2 episodes in, like, all regions, and then they combined it into one. I never knew it was the Japanese version that was 2 parts. But yeah, I think I have heard of it. I've not even seen the OVA of Sonic, but... Like, the only animated Sonic I have seen is The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I've seen all episodes of that in, like, the late 2010s, I think. When I was still a teenager, but I've never seen the SatAM cartoon, or Sonic Underground, Sonic X, or any of the other... Obviously, I've seen the Sonic films, obviously. I mentioned Sonic 3 earlier, when I've seen that in Cineworld. That was brilliant. And the Knuckles TV show, obviously, but every other Sonic show I've not even seen, so... Not even the OVA, which is more of a movie. Although there's 6 people watching. Oh my god. What is William Tell? Never heard of this. Okay, it's just some guy with a crossbow. It's in English. 15. It's getting a January release, but... Suffocating love. Oh, that sounds disturbing. Let's look at the recently. No Way Up. It was rated. What? Oh, that's a cinema, and that's a. I was like, wait, what? A 2024 entry after the 2025 ones? That's bizarre. But no, that's just a. Disney tried to buy Sega. Yeah, Disney almost tries to buy everyone. They've got Marvel, they've got 20th Century Fox, they've got, like, a couple of them. I've noticed how Terrifier free content advice does not mention how children get killed in a film, but All Hallows Eve has it. Well, seriously, All Hallows Eve. For some reason, the second film doesn't come up unless you type it a different way. I'll get to that in a moment. Strong bodily violence, strong gore, very strong language, yeah. Dismembering his victim. Okay, no children are mentioned there. I don't see... Oh, there, it says child victims here. Yeah, there we go. But in the injury detail part... then... Oh, yeah. It's only been rated once in 2014. But to access the second film, All Hallows Eve 2, which is the second anthology film sequel to this, with more short films in one, you have to spell it like this. Well, in the UK it's called All Hallows Eve The Reaping, but I don't know why they call it that, but it is the same film. You have to spell it like this, even though they're never officially like this. That's how you find the second film entry. Does this one have, like, detail about children? I don't remember if children get killed in this. I don't think they do. No, nothing mentioned about that. But then with Terrifier 3, even though, literally, the very first scene clearly has children getting killed, does it seriously not mention that? Because I've not really looked through that. Yeah, it's got that, and then injury detail. Yeah, nothing about children is mentioned at all. So, that is very bizarre. Okay. Despite Heart of Darkness and Spider-Man movie being rated E, Incredibles, Tom and Jerry, War of the Whiskers, and Shrek rated teen. What, in America? The games based on them? That's... I think I knew about Shrek, along with Shrek Extra Large, which is the GameCube version of the original Xbox title. Why would a Tom and Jerry game get a T rating? Or The Incredibles? I get The Incredibles as kind of like a bit... Well, not like violent, but like violent enough, I'd say. Then again, the ESRB were kind of stricter back then anyway, so... with films like that, so it kind of makes sense. Especially when the E10 Plus rating didn't exist. Because I know a couple of Ratchet & Clank games, for example, got a T rating, even if they technically only deserved a E10 Plus rating, because that rating didn't exist until 2005. Which is now 20 years ago. Well, not right now, still it's 19 years ago, but it will be 20 years old this year, the E10 Plus rating. Along with me in August. I turned 20 this August as well. But yeah, that's very bizarre. Let's go back to the page. It's raining men! That's a bizarre title. That's a very bizarre title. Death Wish has a series... that can't be the same thing as the Death Wish films with Charles Bronson, can it? That definitely can't be it. That's got to be a totally separate thing entirely. I've never even seen the Death Wish films. I've got to see them one day. I was hoping that the first Death Wish would get re-released, but apparently it didn't. Because that's a 74 film, and I was expecting it to re-release in 2024, but I guess it didn't. I recall seeing a game that was cut for a 12 because it has multiple uses of strong language. What game is that? Is that by the BBFC by any chance? Because you mentioned 12, and that's a BBFC rating, obviously. You got three 2024 films coming out in 2025 this year in the UK, in a row. All on the same day as well, even though on the Cineworld website and app, I think A Real Pain has like a different release date slightly. I think that says like 8/4/6 or something. Meanwhile, the others still say 10th, I think. Baby Girl and Maria, but... Okay. Missing You. Number 24. The Love Scam. What on earth is that? Don't Die, the Man Who Wants to Live Forever. Don't we all want to live forever? Another season of Fireman Sam. I used to watch Fireman Sam as a kid. It's been ages since I've seen it, though. the old series. It was an annual report, and I think it was around the same time when Manhunt 2 was banned. Oh, so around 2007, I assume. Because Manhunt 2 is a 2007 game. Oh, no, it might be 2008, actually, because 2008 was when the game came out in the UK, I think. I think that is... Let me go on Wikipedia. Oh yeah, you guys heard the news that Jimmy Carter died at 100 years old. He succeeded to turn 100, but still died, sadly. Manhunt 2... Yeah, in the EU, on Halloween Day in 2008, on PS2, PSP, and Wii. That is very bizarre. And then, obviously, I know Windows got it in... PC got it in 2009. That's the adults-only rated version. But yeah, if you go on the controversy tab on the Wikipedia site, you'll go through a lot of information, and even information about the BBFC as well. On their views of the game, that they rejected both versions, and then, yeah, mixed or average reviews. I kind of get that, because some people despise the violence. Like, it's no stranger that the BBFC have still got problems with certain things like this as well. Obviously, they don't rate games anymore, but I doubt if a Manhunt 2 re-release were to happen, it probably won't happen ever, but... Banjo and Conker were not in the DS version of Diddy Kong Racing DS. Yeah. They were replaced with Dixie Kong and Tiny Kong, I think, from the Donkey Kong series. But yeah, the BBFC is no stranger for having issues with a lot of films. Like, has anyone heard of a Serbian film? That is one of the... Well, technically they didn't ban it, but they had several problems. It has very strong sexual violence. That's something you've never seen in a film before, until now. But both cinema and home entertainment releases were cut. So, yeah. And it's the same cuts information. So this had like 4 minutes cut. So, yeah, 4 minutes of footage, or it might be 5 minutes, it depends on how many seconds, but around those times of those parts cut, it's very bizarre. And this is not the only film. A film after this, you probably heard of the Human Centipede before, guys. The series and then films. But specifically, the Human Centipede 2 was rejected by the BBFC, unsuitable for classification. They have like a full report here as well. And obviously, this had 32 individual cuts. And obviously, you could tell what some of the cuts would be, because if you know what the Human Centipede is like. But I think this 2016 one is meant to be the colour version. That's in like the complete sequence sets, but even the colour version has the same 32 individual cuts. It's just in colour, so the BBFC still have problems with this film, uncut. It's one of the very rare uses of very strong bloody violence. So, yeah. It's funny how the older entries don't have content advice, but this new one does. Not that it really matters, to be fair, anyway, but... Yeah. I found that the game was cut for 12. It's called Earache Extreme Metal Racing. I've never even heard of that. Earache. Oh, it comes up right here. And it's just got cuts information, but obviously it don't list what the cuts are. Strong language. That's very rare to see strong language in something 12 rated, because normally it's something like infrequent strong language or implied strong language or something like that. You'll see that a lot in like Marvel's films. Like, I think the implied strong language is used in like a couple of Spider-Man films, like Far From Home and that. But then infrequent strong language is used in films like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I I think the only other case I saw just strong language with a 12 rated product was Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Even though that was infrequent uses, I think back then they just put strong language. Nintendo probably regretted putting Conquer in Switch Online. They might do that one day. Maybe in the mature 17 plus version of the app, but... Or in Japan, the 18 plus version of the app, but... especially if they put Perfect Dark on there, which is Rare's title then. Along with the Turok games. I think Turok and Turok 2, I think, are on the NSO library of games. But it's only on the mature 17 plus version in America and Europe, and then the 18 plus version in Japan of the app. You can't find it in the normal version. It's weird. Have the BBFC rated the Turok games? They have. Oh yeah. Obviously the 2007 one, Dinosaur Hunter. Yeah. Seeds of Evil. Oh, Seeds of Evil is like a classic. My granddad remembers playing this on his 64. Rage Wars, and then Shadow of Oblivion. Not many people like this one, to be fair. I think that's referring to the 2008 game. It's not 2007, it's 2008, but for some reason they put 2007 on it. But I think this was in one of my rating versus rating episodes. I think they've rated Perfect Dark as well. They've rated that 18, surprisingly. But Perfect Dark Zero is just a 15. But the copy I have has a PEGI 16 on it, because I think most European copies have just 16 on it. I think the only ones I can recall finding a BBFC 15 on it is with, like, limited editions and steelbooks. I think they're the only ones that have got 15 on it. I think most other European ones, the standard ones, just have PEGI 16 on it. The one I've got has PEGI 16 on it as well. I'm surprised that the first one got an 18. Nowadays, this would pass at 15 if they still rated video games. Especially because this is rated PEGI 16 on not just the XBLA, but also on Rare Replay, because Rare Replay is 16 as well. But I can only imagine if BBFC rated Rare Replay, I wonder if they would give that a 15, or if they would give that an 18, I don't know. Especially when Perfect Dark was 18, but then... well, Conker's Bad Fur Day wasn't rated by BBFC, but it was rated by Elsper, and that was just 15, so... The developers wanted the Darkness to be 15 by the BBFC, but was 18. Yeah, I have heard about the Darkness. What comes up with films first? Where's the game? Where's the game? Where's the game? I have to do it like this. Oh, the Darkness PlayStation 3, even though it's not just on PS3, it's on Xbox 360 as well. It's not just a PS3 game. And then some Tenchu stuff. Yeah, it's funny how they just say PlayStation 3, even though this is on Xbox 360 as well. I don't... Have they rated The Darkness 2, though? Because I've heard it got a sequel. I don't know if they have. Let's... No, I don't think they've rated The Darkness 2. Or they might have, but maybe it's not on their website. Unless I have to do this. No. Okay. Well, it's an NA. What's been banned? Spy of Darkness. Okay. I've never even heard of it. I wonder why. I wonder if it's so dark that it had to be rejected. Okay. Okay. Imagine if PEGI rated Rare Replay PEGI 3 to 16, like the ESRB E to M. I wish PEGI did do that, but they don't. They just use the highest rating possible. Because I noticed with some American games, they have like 2 ratings on it. Like with Rare Replay as an example, E to M. But the UK with PEGI, they don't do that. They just put the highest rating that a game has on there, so in that case 16. I kind of wish they did do that though, with certain games. Especially with... Because I think some American games don't even have 2 ratings. I think the Sega Mega Drive and Genesis classics, for example, that only has a T rating on it. No, not even E to teen. Yeah, PEGI is just 12 on it. So, I kind of wish PEGI did do that. Because then it gives you an advice that what games are suitable for all ages and what games are not really suitable for all ages. But no, they don't do that, surprisingly. It's the same with like compilations and things like that. Oh, that was a weird burp. Oh, God. Nosferatu. I'm seeing this in 2 days, I think. With my stepfather, hopefully, because he's definitely wanting to see this. Nosferatu. The new one. Let's see if there's anything else they've rated. Yeah, the new Avicii documentary. I've not even seen the Avicii documentary, because I knew he was a DJ. I used to be into some of his music. I like the song Levels. That's a really great song that Avicii did. Too bad he killed himself in 2018, though. That's what the documentary is about. I assume that's bonus material for this or something, because that's 20-something minutes, it said. I am the secret in your heart. Why are you the secret in my heart? I don't know. Oh, Shiros. I thought it said, like, Shros or shoes, but no. I guess that's meant to be heroes, but with an S in front. Yeah, Captain America Brave New World got a new trailer rated. And satisfying image. No, not really. Of some guy's head. Yeah, anyone waiting for the new Captain America... I've not even seen the Captain America films yet, but I'm definitely going to before this. Especially the 1979 television films, and then the 1990 film, and then the MCU films, obviously. I've got to watch a lot more Marvel this year. Because I recently watched the Blade films. Yesterday I've seen the first one, and then today I've seen Blade... yesterday I've seen the first two Blades, and then today I've seen Trinity. Those are absolute brilliant films. Blade, starring Wesley Snipes. But these are definitely worth watching if you can get your hands on these films, because they are brilliant. Apparently this got a cinema re-release in 2021, but I've not even... obviously I've not seen it in cinemas, but I've seen them this year, but... I'm surprised that the first two got an 18, though. I get back then, but even now... Blade 2, which is somewhere... even that's still 18. They don't really... Well, they are kind of violent, but they don't really seem too 18-worthy, to be fair. And obviously, Blade Trinity has, like, an extended... I think I've seen the extended version, not the theatrical version. That's bizarre. I think the BBFC... no, not the BBFC, no. The ESRB was the only rating system to do it, although some game bundles in Brazil have 2 ratings. For instance, a PS5 bundle with Returnal and Ratchet & Clank have both 10 and 16 ratings. That's bizarre. Donkey Kong Racing was cancelled after Diddy Kong Pilot renamed as Banjo Pilot. Yeah, I kind of wish we had Donkey Kong Racing, and technically you can play Diddy Kong Pilot, the prototypes, but they're technically not final, and they are kind of unfinished, but Banjo Pilot, at least we got that. Because then again, we don't have a lot of Banjo games. One confusing thing that the BBFC does is that on some days that the Simpsons main page is rated 15, but on other days it's... Yeah, I think the first time I checked The Simpsons it said 15, but nowadays I check 12. What has it got now? It says 12 right now. So it did yesterday, for example, it showed 15. Because I know the 15 stuff is for season... what season was it? Season 17, that's it. But just the bonus material. I think you can find it here. Yeah, right here. That's for season 17. That's it. That's the only reason why season 17 has got a 15. It's because of the bonus material. But the actual episodes are PG or 12. Are any of them PG though? I know. There's 12 ones. You gotta scroll the way up. No, a couple of them are PG as well. Okay. It's like the older seasons are just PG. Well, some of them were U before, but the guidelines change. God, the frame rate's choppy on these pages as well. That's very bizarre. The funniest thing, you got cuts information, but there's no way to tell, because they don't say cut. They don't say cuts or anything next to the episodes. And the only way you can find out is you click on them and then you find them out that way. That's really annoying. I kind of wish they actually did that with episodes as well. Maybe they might do that in the future, but right now you can't do it like that. It's very bizarre. That's the only way you can find out cuts. Nothing's filtered about The Simpsons, okay? I can only imagine if something The Simpsons related got an adult in the genre and then it gets filtered. That's funny, because I did read your comment as well about the Beavis and Butthead thing as well. Except you have to spell it like this. You just got one entry, but then click on the adult content button. A game rated PG. Because it's got adult in the genre. I assume this has got to be a family-friendly game or something, because I know sometimes Beavis and Butthead games get like different ratings. I think the Virtual Stupidity one, I think that got an 18. I think. I don't know if that's on their website though. I don't know if you have to spell it certain ways. TV show as a whole got 15. Do America is 12. That's the film. The Future. Have they not even rated Do the Universe? There's the game again. What if I spell it with a dash? Nothing else comes up now. That's very bizarre, unless it's in the TV show. For some reason it says 1996, even though Beavis and Butthead was a thing years before. The early 90s, I think. They've not even rated season 1, 2, or 3. That's bizarre. They've only rated... unless they have, but they just accidentally put them in the other seasons. I don't know. I've never even watched Beavis and Butthead, so I don't know for sure. But I could have sworn that at least one Beavis and Butthead game got an 18. But it's just not on their website, I don't think. Not even here. No, not even there. Not even on the... Obviously, that's trailers. No, not even there. And obviously, they also showed like the overall rating anyway. And they rate all episodes in one entry. That's very bizarre. It's like I get confused with a couple of South Park episodes. Because South Park as a whole got the 18, but then... obviously, Season 3 is now 15, but it still shows 18 because of the... because of a separate entry for... the last episode, the Worldwide Recorder Concert, or the Brown Noise it's also called. Even though, yeah, you can see right here as well, and that's 15, so implying that this has been reclassified. But it still shows 18 as the overall rating for Season 3. And then you get, Season 20 and Season 22 are also 18. That just says member berries, but... It says 1 to 5, so I don't know if it's just Member Berries that got the 18, or if it's another episode. It says for strong sex references. I can't remember what episode has... I think all episodes have like sex references in them, but I don't remember which one is that much. And then for this one, which is Dead Kids, Avoiding the Priest, The Problem with the Poo, Integrity Farms, and The Scoots, for child sexual abuse references, and strong sex references. But again, you can't tell what actual episode. It's definitely at least one of these episodes. It can't be all of them, because that one's only 15. So yeah. I think a couple of times when I used to view South Park on the BBFC's website, Season 20 just had 15 as the overall rating, but now it's back to 18, because I always thought Season 20 was 18. But for some reason, the 18 wasn't on their website until now. Now it is. See, 22 still had the 18 though. I've still not even seen the later seasons of South Park as well. But Season 24 was the latest season that I've seen. The Pandemic special and the South Park vaccination special. They're the recent ones I've seen. Okay. The Beavis and Butthead Edible Thingies was rated T by ESRB. Oh. That was an accident. Oh, the I. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you weren't even in the chat before. Hamza Odin. Oh, welcome to the stream. Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare DS, ACB PG, USK 18. I need to include that in rating versus rating as well. Thanks for informing me on that. I think season 20 was 18 because of the golden shower scene, and season 22 was 18 for Boy and the Priest. The Boy and the Priest, I remember that one. That one's about that guy in the church, isn't it? That father guy. I can't remember his full name, but that's who the priest is referring to, isn't it? Like, I barely remember any episodes of South Park, but it's got to be that character, isn't it? I do notice that I was expecting it to be, like, for the actual violence, because I know one episode of season 22 has, like, Satan brutally fighting, and then there's, like, a lot of blood and gore, but I'm surprised that's not even 18 worthy. I don't even know if it's any of these episodes, or if it's any of the 15 ones, but they really should separate them, so then we know what episode is 18 worthy. Kind of like with the older seasons, because, yeah, season 10 has, like, all-in-one. I think some of I think these are, like, the re-releases, but you can see, like, here, they separate entries, so we know this one's 12 for season 9. That's unusual, because some South Park episodes were, like, PG and 12 as well, but it's mainly the older seasons, and then after that, it's mostly just 15. Or it might be because they've rated it all in one! They're just so lazy, sometimes. Yeah, Big Gay Owl's Big Gay Boat Ride was 12. I don't know if that was still 12 worthy today. Because then again, that's all in one entry, so... Conjoined how is that PG? How is that PG? When it's literally about a fetus? Starving Marvin's Thanksgiving special. That's not the, It says Thanksgiving special. Then again, this one's kind of a bit racist, I think, the Starving Marvin episodes. Because he's just that young black boy who doesn't get treated nicely by Cartman. I'm surprised... If that's the actual Starving Marvin episode, I'm surprised that's PG. Because I always thought the episode was just called Starving Marvin. Yeah. Okay. The ACB is the only rating system to rate music videos. I'll take Eminem, for example. Most of his music videos are M because of language and adult themes, but Stan was MA15. I think I get why Stan was given MA15, because that one does have some form of domestic abuse in it, in that music video, especially at the beginning. And all that. And I kind of get there's also a scene where Eminem himself is like dies in a car crash. Well, not really, but in the music video, not in real life. But I don't know if that could be worthy for that rating as well. I get the domestic abuse parts as one of the reasons where he's like shouting. I think is it Dido or Dido, the other singer in Stan. Yeah. She's pregnant in that video, so I kind of get it, but how are his other ones just M though? Because they've got like not very strong language, but like just outright strong language, like dropping the F-bomb multiple times. If you've not heard a lot of Eminem songs, then have the BBFC rated like any music videos related to Eminem? A 2001 film called Eminem. I don't know if that's related to him. Oh, it is. It's 34 minutes. Oh, it's just like a promo video. The Maffa's Home, that's 18. All across Europe. Live from New York. Okay. Because I know they've rated like a Slim Shady Show 18 as well. Yeah, this. If no one's ever heard of it. I've never even heard of it until someone told me about it. But apparently he had a TV show called The Slim Shady Show. If it's like actual episodes though, why does the BBFC class it as a film? Unless it is an actual kind of film, but I don't know. It says 45 minutes, so... Yeah. Can't really tell though. It's animation and music. Anything filtered? No. Nothing filtered either. Nothing filtered about Eminem. Don't filter that poor guy. He's cool. Kangmak from PMac. That's a bizarre name. Yeah, you got the Discovered BBFC page as well. That's obviously about their podcast and about their Create the Card competition. Something we need to know about Wicked. Oh, the fact that it's PG. Oh yeah, why do we need to know that it's a PG? We can literally view it on the actual page for the film itself. Oh, okay, highlight that. We can literally see it here, mild threat and discrimination. We can literally view it there. And then on here. There's no need to make a separate page for it. Snoop Dogg has a couple of few releases filtered. Yeah, I do notice that as well, with Snoop Dogg as well. I think he had at least one film that's R18, I think. Yeah, he did. Yeah, the Doggy Style Volume 1. That's for strong images of real sex, fetish material intended for stimulation, yeah. So that means Snoop Dogg made porn. Yeah, Snoop Dogg officially made porn. I think I have heard that Snoop Dogg doesn't go naked in this one, though, but I don't know. I've not even seen any of these Snoop Dogg stuff, but it's bizarre. That is very bizarre. Buck Wild Bus Tour. I think one of these has, like, the adult filter on it. Yeah, this one. This one's got, like, the adult filter on it, but it's just 18. Was also cut for 18. Yeah, I think I've heard of that as well. I think you go on the page for it, and then... Oh, I have to press the filter button again. Yeah, just to remove 2 sequences of real sex, and an uncut. So I assume they wanted to sell this in public stores, but obviously they couldn't without cutting it. So it kind of makes sense. And obviously they could release it uncut at R18 anyway. Speaking of R18, I've remembered something. I don't know if it still exists, but I searched up Boys and the Hood on their website, which is, obviously the film is 15, and all that. So, nothing special here, but you go on their bonus material tab. Oh my god, it's still there! You got Boys on the side, and that's R18 for additional material. I don't think this is additional material for Boys in the Hood, though, because... No, there's no way. This has got to be for something else entirely. Like, if I type in Boys on the side... You get nothing, but press that. There you go. It's got to be for that. Because did that say, like, Love and Betrayal on it? It did, yeah. This is for boys. This is for a porn film. It's not for Boys in the Hood. Why is it on there? That's bizarre. That's an obvious mistake. A very obvious mistake. That they've made for some reason. That is very bizarre, but... Okay. You delete the message. Okay, don't need that man to tab open. Yeah, I think I've seen this film on Netflix, and then I viewed it on the BBFC site, and I'm surprised I found this. Because even on the this is the only way you can kind of view R18 rated stuff on the BBFC app, is just through these like tabs through like things that aren't got adult on it, and then that's how you can view it. It's also cut for an ACB R18 plus rating when there wasn't an uncut X18 rating. What for the Doggy Style? It's funny how he calls it Doggy Style. I think that's the name of his first album, isn't it? As well, for Snoop Dogg. That's one of his albums is called Doggy Style as well. I'm surprised he named it after that. It's kind of like how 50 Cent named the film Get Rich or Die Trying. It's named after his first album, but then he had a film about it with the same title. It's a bit like that. Only this is with Snoop Dogg. Hopefully they'll fix that one day. Maybe I'll email the BBFC one day and they'll fix it, because it definitely doesn't belong here. It's like one time I discovered a mistake with the Predator films. They've been fixed now, but before, the very first Predator film page was glitched in terms of like bonus material, because it had like a couple of entries relating to The Predator, the 2018 film, along with like other films that have Predator in the title, so like Apex Predator and all that, which is very bizarre. Obviously, it's been fixed now. That also meant that the page for The Predator had 12A as the current rating for a trailer at one point, but now it's been fixed, obviously. So, but one time it was like that. I'm not joking. It was like that before. And yeah, a trailer's been 18. That's why Blu-rays have the 18 on it, because this is in the Blu-ray. Even though the film itself is just 15. Have they not rated it for 3D on home entertainment? They've only rated it for 3D on cinema release. That's bizarre. Obviously, I've only seen this in 2D, though. Got Sexual Predator. I'm surprised this has not got the adult filter, because I've got the adult box unchecked, and that's still there, surprisingly. That should really be classed as adult or something. Especially with the image. You can clearly see the image is very provocative. There's Predator 2, which I prefer than the first one, kind of, but, yeah. Okay. Shout out content, theatrical cut was 15/16. IFCO for very strong sex, but the director's cut was 15 for strong sex. Yeah, I think the BBFC was kind of like that as well. They rated the original version 15, and then the director's cut 18. I think. Bob the Builder TV show was briefly 15 due to one episode of a different show that had Bob in it for strong language. Seriously. I bet they probably fixed that now, because Bob the Builder's for kids. It's not for I guess it could be for adults as well, but I mean, it's designed for kids. So, oh yeah, Bob the Builder Live. That I remember watching this on VHS when I was very young. The Bob the Builder Live, classic. I still wish to see it nowadays, but because it's so nostalgic to me. But they seriously had like a 15. That is so funny. Had a 15 rated entry. Trailer Park Boys. Oh, and then you retracted it. I guess you were trying to write something and then didn't write it all or something. They've not rated season 8 or 9. Seriously. Where's 8 and 9? Have they not got a UK physical release? Or if they've been released on like streaming services like BBC or something, I don't know. God, these bring back memories. I used to watch Bob the Builder as a kid. Whoa! So many entries. What's with the cinema releases? Okay, Legend of the Golden Hammer and then Paper Remarks Bob the Builder. Is that really a Bob the Builder thing, though? It has to be. Because Legend of the Golden Hammer sounds like... Unless that's like something related to the show, I don't know. Oh, now you made a proper message. Okay. Theme Park Boys movies and the Christmas special was M in Australia, despite it having 100 uses of strong language. Maybe they've got like an exception there or something. Or maybe the usage of the language and how it's used could also impact a rating as well. Right, anything filtered? No. I bet if I just type Bob on the... You got Bob Marley, obviously. Oh yeah, the Bob's Burgers movie. Does anyone remember that coming out? I've seen this in cinemas when it came out. It's the only Bob's Burgers thing I've actually seen. I've not seen the TV show. Which the BBFC haven't even rated, I don't think. Yeah, I wonder what the 15 rated thing was that was accidentally put in the Bob the Builder thing. That sounds so funny. I've not even seen Bob Marley One Love. I think I was gonna see this in cinemas, but I just didn't somehow. Because I don't really know much about Bob Marley. I know he was like an old reggae singer from Jamaica. I think, is he Jamaican? I don't know, but he's had like reggae kind of songs and all that in the 70s and early 80s before he died in 1981 and all that. But it's funny how it came out on Valentine's Day as well. Madam Web came out that day as well. Obviously, people would prefer this over Madam Web. Obviously, they had to. Not only because Bob Marley is obviously one of the greatest singers of all time, or was a greatest singer of all time, but also it was just better. Very frequent and most aggressive, and movies were rated 15 by BBFC using the Netflix bots. Netflix bots? But according to Google, IMDb, it was originally 18. What for? Is that for Trailer Park Boys by any chance? That's not it. Well, yeah, the TV show is listed as 18 here. Oh, some seasons are 15, and then the later ones are 18, okay. They actually capitalised language and crude humour. They actually capitalised them here. They don't normally do that. They've rated the film 15 and then live in the effing Dublin. Very strong language, okay. The movie, a lot of it's 15. Only a couple of it's 18. Oh yeah, you were on about the movies are 15. Well, apart from this one, it seems. Are there any that are filtered? No. Okay. Oh wait. No. I thought the 15 changed, but no, it didn't. Anyone heard DSP Gaming? I think I have. I don't know though. I might have heard of it, but DSP Gaming, but maybe I haven't. I can't. I don't know though. I might have, but. I just keep going through BBFC stuff throughout this stream. What else to do? I don't know. Let's check what the IFCO recently did for a change. For upcoming releases. Let's check that. It's funny how they got Nosferatu 2 days later. It's still on the upcoming releases, even though it's 3rd of January today. That's... Yeah, they've rated 7/16, even though BBFC gave it 18. Okay, these are all... What is Tiddler? Oh, it's just a fish film. Okay. What's the fire inside? Never heard of this. I've not seen that on BBFC's website either. It's weird because IFCO seems to rate films earlier than the BBFC do. You even got these to be confirmed things as well. And all that. Which is bizarre. Okay. Season 1 to 11 of Trailer Park Boys were 15, but some seasons were 18 by Netflix bots, although season 12 was 18 for very strong language. By Netflix bots, do you mean like, so are they like auto-generated on the BBFC website then? From Netflix entirely then? Or do you mean like on Netflix in general? And Netflix has bots that automatically give a rating or something. I like how the BBFC will give something a 12 for a use of an F-bomb, but the moment there's an M-bomb, they'll give it a 15. What do you mean by M-bomb? Something beginning with M. What? Oh, do you mean like mother F-word or something? Because yeah, that can definitely get a 15, along with cocksucker as well. That can get 15 rating as well. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, I thought so. It's funny how he called it M-bomb. No one really calls it that. Because I remember watching one of the Fox Critics videos. He did 2 videos on Venom: The Last Dance getting a 15 rating by BBFC, and he mentioned like and he mentioned something like and I think when he was mentioning the language, he said like have an F-bomb, but then for the mother F word, he will just say mother ether or something. He'll just say, let's see if I can find it. Okay. Fox Critic. He's done his Sonic 3 review today. It says no views, even though some people have watched it, I think. That's bizarre. Oh, you gotta like him in the cool glasses there. But yeah, it's Venom: The Last Dance one. Yeah, he's done 2. He's done the UK one, and then the fact that he got a PG-13 in America, because he was on about the strong violence language part of the film. Okay. In like the subtitles, I think I did mention this in the comments as well. Let's get that off. Yeah, right here. I actually commented on it. Obviously, I did censor the words, but I think the way it works is that the F-bomb can be said a couple of times at 12 if it's infrequent. Because I know I've heard films like Monty Python's Life of Brian got a 12A rating for cinema re-release, and that only has that's got like 9 F-bombs in it, apparently. But it was 15 before, but now it's 12A. And then other films, obviously the Marvel films we were on about, they've got like infrequent or implied strong language there. But something like mother effort and cocksucker, I don't think they can be used at 12 at all, and they go straight to 15 if that's the case. And obviously the C word, obviously that can be infrequent at 15, and then frequent uses are 18 worthy. And even if it's once and it's directed from man to woman, that can get an 18 as well. Is my cup of tea cold? No, my tea is warm. Okay. Because it's in like a new cup. It's in like a metal cup and it stays hot for longer. 6 people are watching the stream. Oh my god. Oh, now it says 5. 1 just effed off. Okay. But yeah, I think I mentioned that, and I think he kind of got that feedback for his other video, so even though he didn't mention my channel at all there, but that is very kind of bizarre. But yes, yeah, most of his videos are just like DVD reviews and such. Like, his DVD reviews are like simple videos. It's just like, hey guys, I'm back, welcome back to this video. I'm gonna do a DVD review on this film, and let's begin. And then he'll talk about like the cover and that, and he'll even explain what the rating is. So, and then at the back end, there's like the running time is blah blah blah, and then it's that rating for what it contains, suitable for and over, not to be supplied to any person below this age. And then he'll unwrap the shrink wrap, and then here's the disc. There you go. And then it's just that simple. That's why they're like almost a minute long. Okay. The difference between BBFC and Netflix bots is that the BBFC rated stuff for strong language, but the Netflix bots just say language. Yeah. Netflix, obviously, they just use like simple terms and all that for some reason. I don't get why. Like, we know something's got language in it, but how bad is the language? Is it strong? Very strong? You don't know. So, sometimes they do that on the BBFC's website as well, only if they've rated stuff for Netflix, though. I remember seeing the British version of Jackass was cut for public indecency and due to bodily harm, and the Finnish version of Jackass had every episode cut due to them needing to add warnings. I don't remember the Jackass stuff being cut by BBFC, but unless they were like cut before submitted to BBFC, but I'm still waiting for him to make a new movies reclassification episode. He still needs to make more of them. He almost made none in 2023, but we were so glad that he made part 6. Part 6 was the one in 20... Yeah, but we were so relieved when we got this in the end of 2023. We were so relieved by that, but... Yeah, that's interesting. And I can't scroll up. There we go. But yeah, you should definitely check out Fox Critic's channel. He's a great movie reviewer, and he's still making his Craven... no, not Craven the Hunter. He's making his Better Man Quick review, and then his ranking video of 2024. So the movies he's seen that have come out in the UK of 2024. So not just in cinemas, but at home as well, because some of them he couldn't see in cinemas because he was underage. He is only 16, so he can't see the 18-rated ones in cinemas, but he can at home. So I assume some of those will be included as well, but yeah, definitely check out his channel. I definitely recommend his channel. You should definitely check it out. And as for what I'm doing, well, there's the thumbnail of the stream. It's just a default thumbnail. Do some of you like the new intro I made that I'm going to have for future ones? This is what it is. That is impressive, isn't it? I made that in Premiere Pro. I made this in Premiere Pro. It is absolutely great that I did that in Premiere Pro. And I inspired it by the Miramax logo that you see in... I made examples of films you could see. The Miramax, The Crow, Pulp Fiction, Four Rooms, English Patient, Cop Lounge, Jackie Brown, all those films. Basically films that Miramax distributed in most countries, so... Yeah. Looks nice. Oh, yeah, the intro, yeah. Absolutely. I remember seeing the... Oh, that was a comment before. I thought that was a new comment, but no. But I do like the Miramax logo. I do adore this logo so much. The first time I've seen Pulp Fiction in cinemas, started to adore this logo so much. So that's how I inspired the creation of the my own intro. I was going to originally try and make it like this, close to this possible, only with my stuff on it, but obviously it would take a lot of work, so I just had some inspiration from it. Then again, it will kind of be like too much plagiarism, but still. Then again, I guess this one is technically plagiarized already, because I used the exact same theme, because I like the theme of it as well. I am thinking of making other intros inspired by, like, Capcom's logos and things, because Capcom has, like, a great logos as well for their games. Okay. I remember the BBFC introduced a AV rating for porn websites, but was short-lived and was removed. What's the AV rating? Is that... adult video? Did that stand for? It's gotta be... the A has to stand for adult, and then the V, that's gotta be video or something. Age verification. Oh, right. Because then again, porn sites do normally have an age verification. Well, technically some don't. I've heard Pornhub doesn't. Because I think I've watched one of Daz Games or Daz Black's videos that is now deleted, but it has been re-uploaded, of like a 9-year-old looking at porn and things. And I think he mentioned that something like Pornhub is not filtered, because he checks it out himself. Obviously, he doesn't show it on screen, but he checks it out, and Pornhub doesn't have an age verification system, at least at the time he did the video. So you could go on there without verifying your age. That is very bizarre. But technically, I don't know if it does have that now, but back when he made the video, it didn't. So I assume it was the early 2020s he made that video, because I think he was in like his newer set in the 2020s at the time. That's what he made. My face is getting red hot. That's why my cheeks are red. But yes. You're gonna like that thumbnail for my uncensored version of the Donkey Kong Country episode 2, where I do that glitch at the end, and I had to cut that out because of the because of the sexual stuff at the end, but because it's related to the glitch, but that is very funny. And obviously I will retitle this stream later on and add something onto it, like a subtitle. I'll retitle the first stream as well to part 1. Okay. Alright, so you want to know my other thoughts about 2024, because honestly, we need to keep up with the title a bit. Honestly, we already discussed the movies and that I've seen. As for the games, I've not really been following game releases too much. But that's bizarre. The fact that Family Guy was cut for an 18 was surprising. What? What? The show Family Guy? Because I thought the show was 15, and then they had like some episodes or bonus material that would cut to get a 15, but the uncut versions would be 18. I mean 15. Yeah, I thought you meant 15. Yeah. Because I think they just removed, like, the C word in a couple of bonus stuff, and then but the uncut versions were available at 18, but I have heard of that. As for my other thoughts of 2024, I've not been following too many game releases. Obviously, I have heard great games like Super Mario Party Jamboree, and the new Mario & Luigi. We had a new Mario & Luigi game this year, which is surprising. It's been a while since we got a new Mario & Luigi game. It is Mario & Luigi Brothership. Bizarre title, Brothership. The best part, it was made in Unreal Engine 4. I don't know if this is the first Mario game to be made in Unreal Engine, but it's very interesting to see. But it's been a while since we got a new Mario & Luigi game. The last one was Paper Jam back in 2015. And if you count the remakes, then I guess Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey in 2018, in Japan in 2019, everywhere else. But and then 2019 was also the year Alpha Dream went bankrupt. So this was not made. This was made by Acquire. I assume they got some rights. Additional work by Rakjin. I've never heard of that. I assume they got, because I think Nintendo got some of the rights for the Mario & Luigi Pacific characters and elements, so that's how we were able to get this game. I do hope they re-release, now that I think about this, I hope Nintendo remakes Partners in Time. Partners in Time needs a remake. Superstar Saga and Bowser's Inside Story got remakes. Partners in Time didn't. Even though that's the second game in the series. That definitely needs a remake. Yeah, please remake Partners in Time. It's brilliant. And that image is way zoomed in. That's the new image now. It's not like the proper box art. It's just the box art zoomed in. That's very bizarre. I wish they remake this. This is an absolute brilliant game, Partners in Time. It's my favourite one in the series. So, yeah. It came out the same year I was born in America and Japan. Obviously, a year later in Europe and all that. But please remake Partners in Time. I don't know if they should remake Dream Team or Paper Jam, because they're technically 3DS games and they're technically newer games, but I guess they could port them to the Switch, who knows? Because they ported Luigi's Mansion 2, Dark Moon, to the Switch, and that's a 3DS game. For some reason, they've not ported the original Luigi's Mansion to the Switch yet, even though I technically wish they did, because the first Luigi's Mansion is brilliant. I still never played Luigi's Mansion 2 or 3 though, but yeah. But yeah, Mario & Luigi Brothership was like one of the greatest Mario games we got this year. So happy that we got it. I think we got a new Zelda game as well. It was the Echoes of Wisdom, the new Zelda game we got. I can go on Nintendo's page and then products. Listen, Nintendo products. That's going through like Nintendo Switch. It's like all games listed. So I'll go to the bottom ones. So yeah, Jamboree. Oh yeah, Echoes of Wisdom, that was the other. Oh yeah, Emio, the Smiling Man, which is a Famicom Detective Club sequel. The sequel to both The Missing Heir and The Girl Who Stands Behind. Famicom Detective Club. That's like a new entry in the series. Emio, the Smiling Man. Technically the first M-rated Nintendo game officially. The one that Nintendo actually made. Or were the other Famicom Detective Club games with M as well? I don't know. I think this was the first Nintendo game to get an 18 by Peggy, I think. The other Famicom Detective Club games were just 16, so... Yeah. Oh yeah, the Thousand Year Door remake, I forgot about that as well, yeah. Thousand Year Door got a re-release. Oh yeah, Princess Peach Showtime, I forgot about that. Oh yeah, Mario vs. Donkey Kong, I briefly mentioned that a couple of times in my GBA version Let's Play. Right. I'm waiting for Donkey Kong Country Returns to get a re-release. I've never played DKC Returns, but hopefully when I do a Let's Play, I'll do it on the Switch version, because, yeah. Weird, it was released in the UK before Europe. I get why if the BBFC rated it earlier, but it wasn't rated by them. Speaking of Serbia, there's also a BioSoft which produced video games and magazines. It's very old. Never heard of that. Yeah, we're finally getting Metroid Prime 4, and yet, in this year, but it's been like mentioned a couple of times. Oh yeah, it's still in development, but we've still got no news about it until recently, and the subtitle was revealed Beyond. But we're finally getting a new Metroid Prime. Xenoblade Chronicles X is getting a re-release as well. Pokemon Legends Z8. I assume that's a sequel to Legends Arceus, or Arceus, depending on how you like to say it, but... what does that mean? Downloadable version was... Oh, because it's using the physical media release dates. September 22nd, that's the same day The Expendables 4 came out. I always remember the day that came out, surprisingly. But yeah, that's a Nintendo product. And I've not really been following most new game releases, but yeah, it's been Emio the Smiling Man. I kind of heard about it, but I never knew it was a Famicom Detective Club game until recently. Oh, that's just the translation in Japanese, but yeah, it says the fourth installment. What fourth installment? There's a one. How is it fourth? Okay, BS Tante Club. I've never heard of that, though. Release. Okay, are these like the main games then? And then, obviously, the 2K collection, that's just the Switch versions, and then the remakes, and then, obviously, that's a new game entirely. Yeah. I guess this is an entry that we never got. Oh yeah, the Google Sans Behind got a Super Famicom remake. So that one got two remakes, a Super Famicom one and a Switch remake. Meanwhile, The Missing Heir only got a Switch remake. Okay. I also found it weird how Peggy uses the term frequent moderate violence from games ranging from 12 to 18. They still use moderate violence on 18 stuff. That's bizarre. When it's technically not moderate at all. That's very bizarre. Okay, what was that? Like, 2024 has been wild, guys, if you gotta say, but... Because not only we got, like, a lot of movie flops, obviously, with things like Borderlands and Madam Web and all that, all those shitty films, but it's been wild because we also... A lot of celebrities have lost their lives that year. Obviously, a lot have lost... we've lost in, like, 2023 and that as well, but 2024, it's gotten out of control. We've lost so many more big names that year, so... Let's see if we can list a couple of them on Wikipedia. So the first person that comes to my mind, Carl Weathers. In films like Rocky and Predator and Happy Gilmore, 2nd of February. I thought it was 1st of February. No, 2nd apparently. Died that day. So yeah. And then who else? Oh yeah, Shelley Duvall, who was in films like The Shining, July 11th. And then who else died in July? I can't remember. I think Clint Eastwood's partner. Obviously, Clint Eastwood. I'm surprised Clint Eastwood is still alive, but his partner Christina Sandera did die this in 2024. So, yeah, we didn't really know her too much, but oh yeah, even remember former CEO of YouTube Susan. However you Wojcicki, that's how you pronounce it. Yep, she's dead now as well. 9th of August. That's 4 days after my 19th birthday. She retired in 2023, and obviously Neil Mohan is now the new CEO of YouTube, and apparently he likes NFTs, but creator of Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, I've heard about that today, actually. Britt Allcroft died recently as well, yeah. I've only heard that today. Not just by you, but like hours before as well. Yeah, more recently, Britt Allcroft, the creator of Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah, she's dead now as well. Yeah. Like, September, we lost a lot of big people in September. First one that comes to mind, James Earl Jones. You know, voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa in The Lion King. Yep. Died on September 9th of 2024. Yeah, his performance as Darth Vader, the voice of Darth Vader at least, is incredible. I think he voiced a couple of characters in some video games as well, but he's mostly known for Darth Vader in Star Wars. The voice of him, at least. Not the actual person in the Darth Vader costume, but the voice of him. Yeah, quite a few more people. I know Maggie Smith was another one who died in July, 27th of July. And then was there more in July? I thought there was more in July. I can't remember though. I can't remember the others in July though. I know in October we lost Liam Payne. You know, member of One Direction. Yeah, he's gone now as well. He fell off his balcony, I think. Yeah, that's who we lost in October. And then more recently, in November, we lost Tony Todd, the guy notable for Candyman, along with the Final Destination films. Yeah, he's gone now as well. November 6th. We also lost Nenad Dovik. I've never even heard of him. Or her. I never heard of that person. Nenad. What this? That was in 2021 though. So yeah. Not a celebrity, but Jay Slater also. Who's Jay Slater? Never heard of him. It says in 2024. It's not got like a. It's only got like that. It's only got like a this page for it. He was 19 years old. Oh my god. Oh, is this like this was back in June? Oh. Oh, it's from head injuries. They've only got a page about his death, and not about his like other life as well. Because with other people, you have like pages about their lives and such. Then again, he's not a celebrity, so it kind of makes sense. It's a bit like with the people like James Bulger. They've only got a page about their death and all that, and about the controversies about the two boys and that. But that's what it's like with people like this. But yeah, obviously we did lose like a couple in 2023 as well. But this year we've lost a lot of big names. For me, the big names would be Carl Weathers, James Earl Jones, Tony Todd, Liam Payne, I guess Maggie Smith as well, and then Britt Allcroft was just the recent one. Yeah, I think we lost another celebrity, Olivia something. She was in No, not Newton-John. Hussey, Olivia Hussey. Yeah, we lost her this year as well. 2 days after Christmas. She was in the 1968 film adaptation of Romeo and Juliet. So yeah, I've never seen the Romeo and Juliet films, but okay. He was a guy who lost in a party for a month, but it's speculated that he committed suicide. Is he that? You're on about that Jay Slater guy? It did say the cause of death was head injuries, though. But yeah, and obviously Jimmy Carter is one of the old presidents of America. He's dead recently. He was 100 years old. That's surprising. He was 100 years old when he died. He managed to live that long. That is surprising. His spouse is dead as well. How old was she? Okay, Rosalind Carter was 96 when she died. Jimmy Carter managed to live longer. That is surprising. Like, there's like a couple of people that are like still in their hundreds. I think I know a couple of people who they're dead now, but they were in their hundreds. I think Steven Spielberg's father. I can't remember their name, so I'll just type in Steven Spielberg. Obviously, Steven Spielberg is alive. His father, Arnold Spielberg. That's it. When he died, he was 103 years old. That is surprising. He's still dead in 2020. I assume not from COVID. I'm assuming it's from something else. But I'm surprised he managed to live that long. Another person, Mel Gibson's father as well. I can't remember his name as well. So I'll just type in Mel Gibson, who is still alive. He's got a beard. Is Hutton Gibson, that's his name. He died at 101 years old. It's also in 2020, just a couple of months before Arnold Spielberg, but it's surprising that those people managed to live longer than most other people. Most people, like, die when they're, like, 80 or something. I think my grandpa died when he was 89, I think. And then, I think two of my aunties, they were, like, in their 70s, I think. But, years ago, but that's, like, the average death age, I'd say. But my god, they managed to live that long. That is surprising. Obviously, it is great if you live that long, but it's just surprising. I think the oldest person in the world is like 120 something. I don't know. I think it's like a woman. She's like 120 something, and she's still alive right now. I think I can't remember her name though, but it is there on Wikipedia. I think on Wikipedia. If actually, oldest people. 10 oldest living people. Okay, what's Tomiko? How old is 116 years, and then 5 days, and that's in Japan. Oldest living man is this guy. He's 112 years old. Wow. And then it's not got a separate one for women. Oh, that's for all. That says all. But for some reason they do it like that. For some reason, I don't know. Chronologically list of old. Some don't have pages, but my god, they've managed to live that long. Oh, then no, this is about the people who died. Oh, okay. But yeah, that is verified oldest people. Wow. How old? 122. That is extremely old. She's still alive? Or oh no, she did die. No. But she was still old though. Wow. I didn't look at that properly, but okay. Unless the green ones mean there. Oh, the green ones mean they're alive, and then the other ones mean they're dead. Okay. But yeah, that's very bizarre. It's very weird how you can manage to live up to those years. But, man. That reminds me as well, not just oldest people, but on Wikipedia there's also a page of the longest movies, longest films in runtime. Okay, so it says, for cinematic films, the longest film seems to be this, Rezan, or The Journey. 873 minutes. That's... what is that in hours? I don't know at the top of my head, but I assume that's, like, possibly a day. I don't know, but... It's got a cover version here. 14 hours. Can you imagine watching a film at places like Cineworld and then having that long? Okay, I'm just gonna have like a minor break, guys. I'll be back in a momento. Alright, back. I'm gonna end the stream shortly, guys, because my parents are back and they could be wandering around a lot, but... okay, but yeah, back to longest films. I'll briefly look through these, and I'll read that thing you sent. I remember seeing a Lost Media article of a film that was 80+ hours long. Wow, it was called Cure from Insomnia. I don't know is that on Wikipedia, because I have heard a scientific film. It's experimental films. It says Logistics is the longest experimental films. It's 51,420 minutes, also known as 857 hours or 35 days and 17 hours. And that was in 2012. So that's probably one of the longest films ever. How are you going to watch this at home? You're gonna have to like watch bits of it every day, because you can't like watch all of it at once while awake. You've got to at least pause it and things. That's why some streaming services have like a feature where you come back and that. I don't know if this is on streaming or not, or I don't know how you're gonna watch the films like this. But my God, they are long. At least with things like these ones, they're nicer because they're just like a day or 2 days. But that is crazy. Or Logistics Art Project, but you said something 80+ hours. The Cure for Insomnia, yeah, it's here. But that's not the longest film. Well, it is one of the longest, but the Logistics is longer. Really long. It'll probably take you a day to see that. Logistics, it's on YouTube, albeit it's split into 107 parts. That makes sense. How long are the parts, though? Are they like 24 hours or something? Is there like a limit to how long you can have a YouTube video? There has to be. There has to be, surely. And if you're wondering what is the longest film I've seen, if you're going to ask that, the longest film I've seen is The Irishman from 2019, so far. Because that's 3 hours and... The Irishman. Because The Irishman is 209 minutes, which is 3 hours and a half. So, yeah. They got that from the BBFC site. But this is the longest film I've seen. I've seen this on my 19th birthday. On Netflix. So, yeah. It's a great film. You should check this out. It's one of Martin Scorsese's greatest films. And Robert De Niro is fantastic in it, along with Al Pacino and Joe Pesci. They're brilliant in that. And the fact that Harvey Keitel's in this as well. He looks like me in 20 years. I always say that. Harvey Keitel looks like me. Or I look like Harvey Keitel, but... like, literally, seriously. Because of the face. Maybe not in this image itself, but... compare me to this guy. Ignoring the glasses, though, obviously. Maybe not this image directly, maybe not this image as well, but in, like, a couple of older films, like Bad Lieutenant and things, you'll definitely recognise the fact that he looks like me a bit, but... But yeah, that's why I compare myself to Harvey Keitel, but still. They're all 8 hours long, except for the final part, which is 4 hours and 40 minutes. That's 8 hours is capable for YouTube anyway. I think you can get really long videos on YouTube, like 20 hours and things, like a day. I think some long plays of some video games get that much. I think for World of Long Plays, I think for Mega Man Battle Network, I think that's like 20 hours, because that is a really long game. The Mega Man Battle Network games are like very long. I do wish to stream those games one day. That's why I'm going to stream some games instead of doing just normal Let's Plays of them, because I've never played them before, and I could get some, because they're RPGs, I could get some help if I need it, so. It had a budget of 159 to 250 million, but it only grossed 8 million? That's gotta mean a box office bomb then. Is this received critical acclaim? But that's gotta mean a box office bomb or something. That has to mean that. See if it says anything here. I don't know. We got like a different image of Robert De Niro here, but it's just that for his main page. I think Al Pacino's is the same. It's a bit scary, to be honest, that Al Pacino's. What's Joe Pesci's like? It's the same as this. But yeah, if you've not seen any of Martin Scorsese's films, you should, because those films are brilliant. Films like Goodfellas, you'll definitely like films like that. If I can find... where's his works full list? Never seen Who's That Knocking on My Door. That's the first film he did, and the first film Harvey Keitel starred in. Yeah, Mean Streets, that's brilliant, with both Robert De Niro and Harvey Keitel. I definitely recommend that. Never seen Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. Who does that star? Oh, Harvey Keitel's in this as well. Oh, and Jodie Foster. Because Jodie Foster was in the one after this, Taxi Driver, which I have seen. Robert De Niro stars in. And Harvey Keitel in this, he has like really long hair in this. Raging Bull is an absolute classic with Robert De Niro. It's basically the Robert De Niro version of Rocky. If you've not seen those films with Sylvester Stallone, the Rocky films, then you'll recognise this because this has elements of boxing in it. But this is also based on a true story. The fact that most of it's in black and white as well. There's only like some parts in colours. It's funny how the starring section only has Robert De Niro listed, even though Joe Pesci's in this, I think, as well. Yeah, Joe Pesci's in this as well. This is like the first Martin Scorsese film he starred in. Pesci did, but King of Comedy, that's not really too good, but definitely a great comedy with Robert De Niro. Most of these films have, because Robert De Niro is one of his frequent collaborators. Last Temptation of Christ, very blasphemous, I'd say. This film is literally blasphemy, but I still recommend giving this a watch. Both Willem Dafoe and Harvey Keitel in this. Willem Dafoe plays Jesus, and then Harvey Keitel is Judas, or as I like to say, Judas. I know it's Judas, but I like to say Judas for some reason. But yes, some Christian groups literally claim this film as blasphemy. But I still like this. It's incredibly long, though. It's like almost 3 hours, this, but I still recommend giving this a watch. Especially if you're into, like, films relating to Christianity and Jesus Christ. Good job Willem Dafoe plays him. That's him at, like, the events of Beetlejuice, I think. But, After Hours, I've never seen that. Yeah, Goodfellas, absolutely give Goodfellas a watch. It is absolutely brilliant. With Robert De Niro, Ray Liotta, and Joe Pesci. Too bad Ray Liotta's gone now as well, in 2022. But, yeah. But it is based on a true story as well. If you remember Henry Hill, a mob, and all that. Cape Fear, which is a remake of the 1962 film of the same name. This one has Robert De Niro, obviously. Much like most of the Scorsese films, but yes. But in this, he's like the main villain in this. It is incredible, this. I think 3 actors from the original Cape Fear appear as cameo appearances in this as well. Casino, that's another recommended one with Robert De Niro, Sharon Stone, and Joe Pesci once again. Gangs of New York. I've never seen that. The Aviator. I think that's his first one with Leonardo DiCaprio. Because I've never seen this though. It's really long though. I don't know if this is his first collaboration with DiCaprio. Because he's known for collaborating with DiCaprio as well. But I've seen The Departed is brilliant. I recommend The Departed with Leonardo DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson. He's the guy in The Shining and all that. He's very cool. And Mark Wahlberg is in this as well, obviously. I forgot that Ray Winston is in this as well. He was in films like Scum and Sexy Beast. Sexy Beast is brilliant. I forgot that Alec Baldwin was in this as well. Yeah, Shutter Island, that's another recommended one with Leonardo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo and Ben Kingsley. I forgot Ben Kingsley was in this. Hugo, I've never seen that. Wolf of Wall Street is I absolutely recommend Wolf of Wall Street. It is absolutely hilarious, this one, for me. Obviously, Leonardo DiCaprio, once again. Jonah Hill's performance is brilliant as well, along with Margot Robbie and Matthew McConaughey's performance. But this one's 3 hours, though. So, yeah, this is, like, incredibly long. And obviously The Irishman, I would recommend that. I've still not seen Killers of the Flower Moon, but I've heard that was good as well. DiCaprio and De Niro, once again. It's really long, though, and it came out in 2023. I could have saw that in Cineworld, because it got a cinema release, but it was so long, and I just decided not to. But yeah. I definitely give Scorsese films a watch if you haven't. Because you could pretty much rival him with Quentin Tarantino in his movies, because Quentin Tarantino also has great movies if you've not seen any of them. So they're his directed features. Reservoir Dogs, I absolutely recommend. Absolutely Pulp Fiction. I've got a poster of Pulp Fiction on my wall, so there you go. And Jackie Brown. I've actually got a Jackie Brown poster as well. It's in front of my television, in front of my bed, up there. So it's smaller than the Pulp Fiction one though. Kill Bill. I absolutely recommend the Kill Bill films as well. Whoa, the poster's different there. They keep changing the poster for Volume 2 for some reason. That's bizarre. Death Proof, which is a part of Grindhouse. So Grindhouse is a double feature with Planet Terror and Death Proof. Planet Terror is Robert Rodriguez's film, and then Death Proof is Tarantino's. I definitely give this a watch. This one's got Kurt Russell in it. He's brilliant in this. Inglourious Bastards, or Inglourious Bastards. I just like to say bastards sometimes. Basically a World War II kind of film, but it's kind of like a made-up story. I definitely give this a watch, with Brad Pitt in it. Django Unchained, that's also based on the 1966 Django and all that. I've actually seen the 66 Django in Italian, with Franco Nero in it, but Django Unchained is way better, with Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kerry Washington, and Samuel L. Jackson. Again, I think Samuel L. Jackson is like the frequent collaborator with Tarantino, because he was in Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 2. I think he was in Death Proof, briefly in Death Proof, I can't remember though. He's in Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight, so I think Samuel L. Jackson is one of Tarantino's frequent collaborators, even though they don't mention things like that, but I think Samuel L. Jackson could be one of them. Yeah, The Hateful Eight is incredibly long. I think, apparently, there's an extended version, which is divided into 4 episodes, but that never came out in the UK, so the only way I was able to watch the extended version is to pirate it, so that's the only way I was able to see the extended version. It was kind of useful to see the extended version as well, because it means I could see some parts on different days, so, yeah. But the theatrical version is obviously a film. There's like a roadshow version as well, which is longer than general. Oh, they took away the extended version running time. They used to have the extended version one there, but now they don't have it anymore. That's very bizarre. But I definitely give this a watch. It's got a couple of frequent collaborators. Obviously, Samuel L. Jackson is one of his... Oh yeah, Tim Roth and Michael Madsen are the other frequent collaborators with Tarantino, because both Tim Roth and Michael Madsen were in Reservoir Dogs as well, and then Tim Roth was in Pulp Fiction as well. And I think Michael Madsen was in Kill Bill. And then I can't remember if any of them were in Django Unchained. I think Tim Roth was in Unchained. Oh, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. I thought he was, but no, he wasn't. Did Inglourious Bastard had a couple of... No, they were all brand new actors. The Death Proof had a couple. No, Death Proof had no collaborated ones either, so... I guess The Hateful Eight only had Kurt Russell from the Death Proof, but... Yeah. Did any of them re-collaborate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Brad Pitt did from Inglourious Bastard, and Leonardo DiCaprio did from Django Unchained as well. The rest of these are new, though. Surprised that Al Pacino's in this as well. Even though he only has, like, a minor part in this. He's incredibly old now. Do you know how old Al Pacino is? He's 84, I think. Yeah, he's 84, and he's still alive. I think when I used to view the Wikipedia page for Al Pacino, it had, like, a massive list of partners. He had, like, tons of partners. He had tons of girlfriends. But now they only list 2, even though he had, like, way more than that. But you can go on the view history, and then I could click on that, but it'll give, like, a couple of, like, IPs for those that don't have an account. But yeah. But he's never been married, surprisingly. But he's been with lots of women. He's been with lots. So... But older versions of the page will have, like, long lists. But now they only list 2. Even though he had way more than that. But that is very bizarre. I didn't know Austin Butler was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I didn't know he was in that. I must have not recognised him in the film. Yeah. He did a couple of short films as well. Obviously, I've not... apart from The Man from Hollywood, which is a segment from Four Rooms, I'd give Four Rooms a watch as well, which stars Tim Roth in all segments. This is basically like an anthology film. Fast black comedy. 4 directors. You got Alison Anders, Alexandre Rockwell, Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino. So that's 4 people made this film, even though they're technically just short films in segments. But it came out on Christmas Day of 1995. Oh, this is one of the other of those films that came out on Christmas Day. It's funny because Tarantino's 3rd film, Jackie Brown, also came out on Christmas Day in America in 1997. The UK just got it in 98, though, because it was rated by BBFC in 98, so I assume it got a... So you could definitely tell on their website with Jackie Brown. It's the only 15-rated Tarantino film as well, surprisingly. It's funny how they list strong violence as the reasons, but it's only 3 out of 5. So that's very bizarre. But the first time they've rated it was in 1998, in February. But it's on. I think it came out in March or something. I don't know. So they were used to rate things really early. They used to use the term coarse language, which is not really used anymore. Moderate violence, I kind of get, because obviously there's not really any gore too much in this. And obviously it got a re-release in Cineworld in 2022. But obviously I never seen this in cinemas. I've only seen it at home. But I give Jackie Brown a watch. It's absolutely brilliant. Got one bonus material. That is why the DVDs and Blu-rays are 18, because of the bonus material. It's not the film itself. So a lot of people are thinking that Tarantino has no film that is below 18. That is not true. Jackie Brown is his exception here. And as for Four Rooms, which is technically not a Tarantino film. It's only one of the directors. That was also given an 18 as well, in 95. And 96 for home entertainment. It's not been I've seen this, though, but it doesn't really seem 18-worthy, to be honest. There is a lot of strong language in it, but then again, frequent F-words are allowed at 15. So I'd say this is more... If this got re-rated, I assume this would get a 15. This has to be, like, 15 or something. It's funny how some of the cast... They only list Alison Anders as the director, even though there were 3 more directors as well. Alexandre Rockwell, Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino, obviously. I like how they've put Tim Roth with all segments, and then some of them with only, like, different segments, but, yeah. Yeah, I definitely give 4 Rooms a watch as well. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a great comedy. Tim Roth's performance is brilliant in this. There's technically like 4 stories. You think there's more than 4, but I think the Betty's house part is just referring to like one section where they're on the phone and all that. Major disappointments. Oh, this got negative reviews. Oh no. It's a brilliant movie though. Why did it get negative reviews? Oh, it said mixed reviews here. They praise segments from Rodriguez and Tarantino. That's obvious because both Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino are literally the best directors out there. But they criticize the segments by Anders and Rockwell. I don't really know these people too much, but okay. If you've not seen many of Robert Rodriguez's films, his films are absolutely gory most of the time. If you've not seen films like From Dusk Till Dawn, which Tarantino appears in that film as an actor, along with Harvey Keitel and George Clooney, but most of his other films are like very gory. If you've not seen them, Planet Terror, that is gory. I've never seen Machete, but I've heard that's gory. We Can Be Heroes, I've never heard of that. Obviously, From Dusk Till Dawn, that is incredibly gory. At first, it's like a crime film, but then it becomes a horror film later on. But I definitely give this a watch as well. With Harvey Keitel, George Clooney, and Quentin Tarantino. Well, I definitely recommend this as well. Especially the beginning parts are like my favourite parts. Because Clooney and Tarantino are like are almost like the bad characters, and then Keitel is like a father of 2 children, and they borrow his caravan, and then yeah. Okay, what other films did he do? Yeah, some people like to think that From Dusk Till Dawn is a Tarantino film. I guess it technically is, but not really. Some also say True Romance is as well, but he's only the writer for that. Same with Natural Born Killers, he's only the writer for the story. He rated something called It's Pat. The 1994 comedy. Who does it star? Julia Sweeney, Dave Foley, and Charles Rocket. Never heard of these. Banned by critics. The sex symbol of the 90s. I've never even heard of that film. He written The Rock as well. The 1996 film. Then again, he said uncredited, but I never knew Tarantino was involved with this Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage classic. What's Iron Monkey? Oh, it's a Hong Kong film. Past Midnight. 1991 film. But Tarantino is uncredited. Never heard of this film either. What's Crimson Tide? 1995. If this gets a re-release, I might see it. Oh, Denzel Washington. And Gene Hackman. Gene Hackman is also very old as well. It's 94 right now. Obviously, he'll turn 95. But I'm surprised he's not dead yet. He did retire, like, years ago, though. Of acting, I think. But, 2016 and 2017, unless he came back to acting at some points, but then he's still retired. Because right now he's still retired, but, man, he is very old. He's like older than Clint Eastwood, believe it or not. And he's way older than Michael Caine as well. Michael Caine is really old as well. But he retired, like, in 2023. But all 3 of those actors, they're still alive. That is so surprising. And an executive producer. Because I know he produced films like Hostel, because because films like Hostel don't count as Tarantino films as well, because he's only a producer, executive producer for them. On Hostel Part 2 as well, but not Hostel Part 3, because that's a direct-to-video release anyway. But what on earth is Killing Zoe? From 1995? No, 93, I mean. I've never heard of that. Curdled, what is that? 1996 black comedy. God Said Ha! Okay, never heard of it. Oh yeah, From Dusk to Dawn 2 and 3. From Dusk to Dawn 2 is not too bad, but it's definitely not as good as the first one. At least this one does have Robert Patrick. He's the guy who played the T-1000 in Terminator 2, Judgment Day. I think Rodriguez and Tarantino are only the producers of this, along with the third one, which is a prequel to the first one. They start people that we don't know at all, but this one's worse. What is Hero? Wuxia martial arts? Is that like a language? My name is Modesty. That's also my Scott Spiegel. I thought it said Spielberg there, but no, it's Spiegel. Okay. Daltrey Cole Horn. I never heard of that. It's a comedy film. Oh, Johnny Knoxville's in this. He's the guy in Jackass. Oh boy, I'm surprised I've not even heard of this. Freedom's Fury. What is that? That's a documentary. What's Hell Ride? Action Neo Outlaw by Cut Film. Oh, Larry Bishop. I thought Bishop was just a random person, but oh, he was the director as well. Oh, Michael Madsen's in this as well. Vinnie Jones is in this as well. He's like in plenty of like gangster films. Like he's in Rise of the Foot Soldier Origins, and I think he's in Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and I think he's in Snatch as well. Those two films by Guy Ritchie are great as well. Oh, Dennis Hopper. We always remember Dennis Hopper as well. For doing many roles, like not only in films like Apocalypse Now, and he played Bowser Koopa in Super Mario Bros. The live-action '93 one. He played in that, and he was in films like Speed and what other films was Hopper in? I can't remember most of them, but still. And this is like acting roles and documentaries, so yeah, he was an actor before he was a director, which is bizarre. Let's see if I can find anything. He makes a cameo in The Muppets Wizard of Oz. Yeah, I remember his cameo in Little Nicky. He's like a priest in that. It's so funny. Has anyone seen Little Nicky? It's a great film with Adam Sandler. And Harvey Keitel's in this as well. He plays Satan in this. And his performance is very hilarious. But then Adam Sandler has like this weird voice in Little Nicky. It's just so funny. What's Desperado? Oh, it's one of Robert Rodriguez's. That's yeah, Antonio Banderas. I thought so. Oh, Steve Buscemi's in this as well. Never knew that. Dance Me to the End of Love, but that's a song. Oh, it says short film, unless there's like a music video or something for it. Sleep With Me. That is a bizarre and sexual title. Sleep With Me. Somebody to Love. Okay. Eddie Presley. Dramedy? Is that even the right word? Oh, comedy drama. It's a mixture of comedy and drama. Dramedy. My Best Friend's Birthday. What's that? An unfinished 1987 film. Is there a way we can watch it? Tarantino's in there. Right there. It's like he's yelling at someone. It's in black and white. Only 36 minutes are edited all together, leaving the project unfinished. Is there a way to watch it, though? That's bizarre. If there's a way to watch it, oh my god. Might end the stream in a couple of minutes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the chat. I've not been reading the chat for so long. Holy crap. Let me go through. Okay, Vandal Hearts games are rated M. Never heard of Vandal Hearts. I have just found out that Peggy has equivalent of BBFCE called Peggy OK, but apparently it's no longer used. Peggy OK? Never heard of that rating, actually. The Railway Children Return is rated PG, but most of the issues are 3 out of 5. I assume they were rated years before, and then maybe when the guidelines changed, they might think, oh yeah, they're 12 worthy now. So, or sometimes they do put more, because with Cocaine Bear, for example, that's rated 15, but the violence is a 5 out of 5, and that normally indicates 18. But this is only a 15 rated film. But that's a 5 out of 5. But the rest are 4 out of 5, like the language and all that. And obviously the drug references, especially the title Cocaine Bear, because cocaine is a drug. But I do find that interesting. This did get an 18 rating in Ireland, though, I believe. So, generated from classified cinema release. I think that's just the same thing, just home entertainment, but yeah. But nothing else is rated 8. Nothing else is 18. I'm surprised because this is a 15 rated film, but it has a 5 out of 5 violence, which is normally 18. But let me check the Railway Children. I'll just type in Railway Children. Oh, it's a film. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, this was into maybe this is like a Cocaine Bear situation, but with this. It reminds me as well because the very first Star Wars, Episode 4: A New Hope, that is still rated U, surprisingly. But again, the violence and threat and horror are 2 out of 5, not 1 out of 5. But the language and injury tales are 1 out of 5. Those normally indicate a PG, so I assume if this gets a cinema re-release in 2027, it's probably going to get reclassified PG, because both The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi, and even recently The Phantom Menace, were all rated U first, but then they got re-rated PG for cinema re-releases recently. I assume this will get re-rated as well, but we'll just have to see on that. But yeah. Yeah, the other thing I noticed is that for Return of the Jedi, only the special edition is PG. The original theatrical version, the original version is still U. I assume that's the original version where it was just Return of the Jedi, I think. And it didn't really go by the name Episode 6. I think, or was it called Episode 6 when it came out? Because according to the cinema tab there, it was. I thought there was a special edition of Empire Strikes Back as well. Is there not? Unless it's still on the same page and they've not separated it yet. Because apparently the 3 Star Wars films had like different versions. Like some of these had special editions, I assume. Yeah, this has got a special edition, but there's no separate page. And they're meant to be slightly different, especially how Yoda is portrayed. I believe he's like a puppet in the original version, and then they use CGI in later versions. Same thing with Phantom Menace. I think I've seen a video on Phantom Menace like that. But yeah, Attack of the Clones was the first PG-rated Star Wars, but it was cut to remove a headbutt, but an uncut 12 was available. I assume it's because 12A didn't exist back then. And, or at the time this released, so because it says uncut 12, not uncut 12A, so yeah, it's uncut PG now apparently. And then Revenge of the Sith, which is the best prequel, to be honest, is the first 12 and 12A rated Star Wars. And then obviously these. It's funny how these don't have episode in the title, but The Last Jedi has episode 8 in the title, but the others don't have episode 7 or 9. That's bizarre. But they have like the proper titles there. but it's in the bonus materials that have episode 8 in it. That's kind of bizarre. I kind of wish they changed it a bit. Especially when they got episodes for, like, the other titles as well. Even the oldest ones. Sometimes they do rename pages, but most of the time they don't. Spider-Man 2 had 3 out of 5 for violence and threat before it was reclassified 12A. Yeah, I guess that was in preparation for the reclassification for Spider-Man 2. For some reason, the word man is not capitalised on any... well, it is on some occasions, like the More Fun Stuff version of No Way Home. And the extended version of Far From Home. But... oh yeah, the years are incorrect as well. Spider-Man 3 came out in 2007, not 2004. 2004 was when Spider-Man 2 came out. When... Spider-Man 2 is listed as a 2002 film. That's when the first Spider-Man came out. They seriously need to fix things, but they did split the pages up for this, but the extended version is still PG, surprisingly. I'm surprised Spider-Man 2 got PG when it came out. Because it is like the same violence level as the first one and Spider-Man 3, but it's interesting how the extended version is still... I'm surprised they didn't re-release the extended version in cinemas in 2024, because I've seen every Spider-Man film in cinemas, but I'm surprised they didn't re-release the extended version like they did with Far From Home and No Way Home. Or even the editor's cut of Spider-Man 3, which was never rated by BBFC. Only the theatrical version was rated by BBFC for cinema and home entertainment releases. It's funny how they class it as a 2004 film when it's literally... It wasn't... I don't think it was filmed until, like... I think it was filmed in 2006, I don't know, but it definitely came out in 2007. But they class it as a 2004 film for some reason. Does this... No, it's just still 12A. I think a couple of times it just had 12 on this entry. Because this was technically just a 12 when it came out. And then... and all that. Yeah, it's why people wanted the 12A to begin with. Okay. I think Attack of the Clones was also the first PG-13 rated movie. Oh, so the first PG-13 Star Wars film. Yeah, I think most Star Wars films are now PG-13. I think the old... I get the older ones. Were the older ones like G as well? Because they had to be, if they were rated U by BBFC. They had to be... It also says that Shrek the Third is a 2004 film, despite it being released in 2007. Is that true? Let's see. Shrek 1 is correct, 2001. Yes. I think that's wrong as well. I think this was 2010. Shrek Forever After came out. Yeah, it was. In every region, but it's... then again, I think it's because some trailers were 2000... Yeah, some trailers were 2009. Maybe they class it as, like, something first that came out. Shrek 2 is classed as a 2003 film. Again, I assume it's because of the trailers. Yeah, some of the trailers were in 2003. That's because Shrek the Third in 2000... Even though this is a 2007 film. It literally says 2007 there. When were the trailers? The oldest was in 2006. So it should have... Well, preferably, it should have said 2007. But it could have also said 2006. It definitely should not say 2004. Because that's definitely incorrect. The video game based on the movie is the correct year though. Along with this one, which is DVD-ROM, they're correct. Like they've got them correct, but and then I guess they kind of almost got these correct, but even though they're technically a year before for Shrek 2. Yeah, Shrek 2 got re-rated PG in 2023, I think. No, for home entertainment. No, in 2022. On Boxing Day. So... but it was still rated U in cinemas in 2013. Most people consider this a cinematic masterpiece, though. I don't really think that, to be honest, too much for Shrek 2. I prefer the first Shrek than the others, to be fair. Apparently Apparently this is still rated U. This would be PG worthy nowadays, to be fair. Well, for me personally, I don't know, but even though all of these are just 1 out of 5. But there's like so many adult jokes in these films, and they managed to get away with them. I think I've seen Shrek the Musical as a kid. I can't remember though. Parts 1 and 2. What? This was in 2 parts? This is like over 2 hours. I never knew that. Shrek plus 3D. Is that referring to the first Shrek? Because it says 2004. And again, these 3 are the voices in like or every other Shrek film. So there's no way of telling. Were there paper remarks? No, it just says Shrek 3D, but up here it says Shrek plus 3D. Is that referring to the first film, or Shrek 2? Because it was classified in 2004. It's got to be one of them. Okay. Also in Shrek 2, the language is 1 out of 5, despite it PG rating. Wait, let me look at the page for Shrek 2 again. Except I can't load anything. Okay, there we go. Everything is 1 out of 5. And it says mild bad language, yet it's a PG. That is... Yeah, it's PG now. That is very bizarre. Unless they change their guidelines again. I don't know. Also, weirdly, on some copies of Shrek, Super Slime has an 80s PG rating, despite it being released after 2003 rating logo were introduced. No, it was 2002 when the new logos were made. But some home releases of some films, and even video games, would still have the old ratings. I think Resident Evil 4 is one of them. The GameCube version has like the old 15 logo, but then PS2 versions have the new 15 logo. Well, the newer ones at the time. Or sometimes they'll have like the new logo on the case, but on the disc it'll show the old one. So it's kind of bizarre. It's also a case when some films get like certain revisions where they have like an old BBFC logo version and then a new one, and sometimes those new ones will also include an IFCO rating on them. Meanwhile, the old BBFC ones don't. I think that was the case with Jackie Brown. I think a couple of copies of Jackie Brown had like you had like some DVDs that had 15 on it because they don't have the bonus content, well, the 18 rated ones. But that had the old 15 logo on it, and I think the disc had like 15 and 18 Ireland, because that is an 18 in Ireland. And then for the 18 rated copies, there's like 2 versions on DVDs. I think there's one with the old BBFC logo, and then the one with the new one and the IFCO rating on it. But I think the discs still have the old logos. Obviously, disc 1 would be 15 UK and 18 Ireland, and then disc 2 would be both 18. But yeah, but I think it will still show the old BBFC logos on the disc, but on the box it'll be new. It is very interesting though. Some video games were affected by that as well. Yeah. God, we've been here for a long time. It says 2 people are watching on my phone, but on here it says 4 watching. YouTube is glitched. Okay, I will end the stream. I think I might end the stream. Okay, I'll read this and then. Weirdly, the DVD of Kanye West's late orchestration had the 80s 15 rating on the front, but the 2002 rating on the back. Older Blu-ray had the 80s 50, but newer releases had the 2002 one. I never heard about that Kanye West thing, but on Blu-ray releases, it had the old 15, you're saying, on some Blu-rays as well. I get with DVDs, but I mean, the old BBFC rating on the front and then the new one at the back, or vice versa. That's an interesting thing. I'm always interested to see what other movies are like that. Or anything that BBFC also rated, but not just movies, but video games as well, in the past and all that. What's also funny, speaking of video games, is that sometimes you'll see the BBFC rating on the spine as well, but with some video games, even the games that are rated by BBFC, they don't appear on the spine, but they do appear on the front cover and on the back, and on the disc, obviously. But some games don't even have it on the spine, but most of them do. I think I have a couple of PS2 games that are like that. I think I've got the first Manhunt, which is also on Xbox, but I've got the PS2 version. That's got the BBFC rating on the front cover and the back cover, but not on the spine. Meanwhile, Manhunt 2, the sequel, has it on the spine as well. And then I have other games like Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, which have BBFC ratings on all of it, even on the spine. But I have like a couple of examples where they're not on the spine for some reason. But all 360 games that have BBFC that I've got all have it on the spine. So yeah. I am in a state where I'm currently recollecting certain games to have the PEGI versions and not the BBFC versions as well. I don't hate the BBFC. I think they're better at rating games than PEGI, but I prefer to have PEGI on my shelf because... Also, if people go onto my shelf and look, they might think I might have mixed some movies or TV shows up with video games, even though that's not true. So, to avoid that confusion, I just decided to get PEGI versions as well. Also because some of them have a higher ratings, and I want to try and tell some kids to not get their hands on it or something. I don't know, but you know what I mean. Okay, I think I'm going to end the stream here, guys. Because it's been quite long and it's getting a bit late, but it's been a pleasure. Oh, I just burped. That was amazing. If there are more comments, then I'll look at them later. But okay, I'm gonna end it here. It's been a great sequel to the 6-hour live stream. Obviously, I did edit it. I'm probably going to edit this one as well to remove that break, and possibly some beginning parts, but so then when people watch it all the way through, because you could just pause a stream, you could just pause it, but while you're live, you can't really pause streams, you can only keep them running. If you do wish to pause streams, you'll have to make a separate stream entirely, but yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I'm hoping that the next stream I do will be me playing a video game. Possibly something I've done before, but hopefully it'll be like that. So rather than maybe I'll still do streams like this for like thoughts on So if I do a thoughts on 2025, for example, I'll still do that and all that, but. Okay, I'm going to end the stream here, so thank you guys for tuning in. Be prepared for upcoming videos in 2025, because there's going to be quite a lot of NES games in January and February. Obviously, I'm going to do FNAF 3, and then as for other games, I'll figure them out myself, but so far, I'm still doing my FNAF 3 playthrough, but I'm releasing them in March, but... so, yeah, see you guys next time. This is JNPoop out. See you guys next time. Bye! Oh, it's not ended yet? Oh, no.